雲のにきらめく虹のように And we have sound, everybody. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to go pretty loud. We're gonna turn that down. There we go. Like, yeah, the fader's where it's supposed to be. So OBS is doing something weird. Whatever. All right, everybody. All right. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Today is May 20th, 2024. It is either 10 or 11 days until I can message the researcher and like, hey, is your contract done? Are you ready to do this freaking podcast? I'm so excited. However, that means I also need to practice using 2 microphones at once. I did with Lethargic Waldo, the podcast with Lethargic Waldo, so episode 6. But this time, I have to figure out how it's going to work. Also, because I have the Rodecaster now, I can just test things and try different things and see how things work, which is going to be great. I'm so excited. All right, so what did we get done? Yes, last episode. We finished Nosferatu. We finished the boss. Once we did, we saw Emma's cat go, oh my god, it still actually might be too late. We might not be able to make this. And I don't know what's happening. That's not good. Either way, we were done, and we went off to Proving Grounds. We went off to Garia Fortress, and they're like, hey, explore Garia Fortress. You have X much time left. Go eat, go to the bathroom, go rest. I don't give a fuck what you do. But do something. So we did something, and then the episode ended. So now here we are, Garia Fortress. But everybody, before we get into Garia Fortress, we are going to be reading Red Moon Rose, Chapter 10, Into the Darkness. There is Chapter 10, 11, 12, 13, and Final. And so Chapter 10, which is what I'm on, and Chapter 11 are both can be found in the previous chapter. So we are behind. We are behind, everybody. So we need to be reading some Red Moon Rising. So that's what we are going to be doing today. All right. Is everybody ready? Well, let's go. Into the Darkness. Oh, I should get chat up too, in case someone wants to talk about it. Ordinarily, the late hour was the peak of business for the Algeria Tavern. On any other day, the chairs would all be filled with familiar faces, chattering away and enjoying food and drink. Speaking of food and drink, my wife and I just finished A Tall Drunken Tale on Frosthaven. If you're playing Frosthaven, I would recommend playing that scenario when you get access to it. But tonight, not a single seat was taken, for so great was the terror of the vampire murders that none dared leave their homes. Left with nothing else to do,
Right.
Luca had set about cleaning the tavern, but the task was quickly finished. She slouched at the spotless counter, thoroughly bored. There hadn't been any sign of her friend Alphonse that day. Still, considering the rumors she had heard at the Garrett's team's nighttime patrols, it wasn't all that hunting. Surprising. He must be really busy, she thought to herself. Still, she couldn't pretend that she wasn't disappointed by the fact. Thoughts of Alphonse weighing on her mind, she let out a gloomy sigh. The tavern's owner stopped washing cutlery on the other side of the counter and gave her a warm smile. Go along home for today. It's dangerous around these parts lately, so you're best getting back, he called. Just as she went to do so, however, the bell over the door chimed. A customer had entered the tavern. Luca jumped out of her chair and panicked. What she saw made her gasp. Standing in the doorway of the tavern was a young man in a blood-stained soldier's uniform. Letting out a short shriek of horror, she rushed over to the man. The uniform he had on was the same as the one worn by Alphonse, leading her to immediately think it might be him. As she drew closer, though, she realized it wasn't. Relief washed over her. Getting a closer look at his face, Luca was startled to find that she actually recognized him. A long time ago, when Alphonse had first joined the army, he had brought the man before her with him to visit the tavern. She remembered hearing that the two of them weren't on very good terms anymore, however. His name was Elroy. The tavern's owner hurried over with the first aid kit, clearly concerned, but Elroy showed no interest in him. His eyes were focused unwaveringly on Luca. Hello, friend of Alphonse. I'm gonna have to ask you to come with me, he muttered. His following smile was anything but inviting. By the time Alphonse and Rose arrived, the tavern was in a terrible state. Chairs were strewn everywhere. Tables lay in pieces all about the space, and the floor was covered in smashed glass and broken crockery. On the other side of the counter, they found the owner, blood trickling from his temple. Calmly, Rose used the church's thaumaturgy to heal him. Its mysterious power closed his wound, and soon after, he regained consciousness. The second he did, Alphonse began to bombard him with questions. What's happening here? Where's Luca? He couldn't see any sign of her, and that worried him intensely. A boy in a military uniform came. No, that was no human. It was a monster. I tried to fight him off, but he took Luca. The moment he uttered Luca's name, he fell unconscious once again. Not long after, the soldier who had been patrolling the surrounding area heard what had happened and hurried to the scene. The area soon filled with the sounds of people's voices and soldiers running up and down the streets. Even a number of local residents who had woken up and begun to gather to see what was going on. Eventually, Garrett himself arrived and set about questioning the tavern's owner and investigating the scene with a number of his subordinates. Alphonse and Rose, meanwhile, stood in the shadow of a building not far away. Damn you, Elroy. Alphonse cried as he punched one of the brick walls with all of his might. Nearby, Rose stood with her arms folded deep in thought. Speaking of punching the wall out of anger, I remember when I was in, I don't know, first or second grade, this kid was talking about his dad, and he had another kid much older, I don't know, in a swimming competition. Maybe older, I don't know, older or not. But the kid or the team lost the competition, so the dad got, maybe angry. I don't know the exact emotion. Whatever emotion the dad was feeling, the dad punched a hole in the wall. It's like scary.
Right.
You should be able to control your reactions to emotions and not punch a hole in the wall. Just imagine just how emotionally immature someone is to get so mad to punch a hole in the wall. Now, obviously, there's probably some circumstances where you would actually get so mad to punch a hole in the wall, but losing a school meet is not one of those times where you should let your emotions get over you so much that you punch a hole in the wall. That was a long time ago, and if you're watching this, I hope your hand is okay.
Right.
Stay calm. We have every reason to believe that Luca is still alive. Elroy had fled to search for new blood to heal his injuries and increase his power. If he was intending to use Luca for that purpose, there was no reason to take her away. It would have been far quicker and easier to just drink her blood in the tavern. Because, hey, it's a tavern, everyone. Thus, it was safe to assume that he had a different purpose in mind for her. And the most likely reason seemed to be to use her to lure them somewhere. I suspect that I know where he was headed, said Rose. She pointed down the ground below their feet. During the previous day's encounter with Elroy, he had summoned a large number of ghouls out of seemingly nowhere. Each of them victims without families or friends to note their absence. Elroy had been abducting them in secret and storing them somewhere for when he wanted them. And there was every reason to believe there were more. To stash them, he would need quite a sizable area, but it also had to be one where the chance of them being found would be quite low. In other words, a place that no one really went. A perfect match for both of those conditions was the network of underground passages beneath the city. The tunnels had been built during the Dark Ages several hundred years prior and were not normally used by people. Somewhere in there, Rose theorized, Elroy was probably waiting for them. Alphonse proposed that they depart immediately. After all, every second they waited increased the danger that Luca was in. Rose, however, stood silent, her eyes cast downwards. Is something bothering you? Alphonse asked. Her mouth tightened. Two things, in fact. Firstly, I suspect that Elroy is what is known as an elder vampire. There were, Rose explained, several kinds of vampires. Those who were legitimate descendants of the race were known as true ancestors. The true ancestors were said to have all perished, but those who were closely related to them were known as elder vampires. And unlike true ancestors, some elder vampires still remained. Elder vampires were filled with the lust for blood every 10 or so years, and in surrendering themselves to that lust, they had been responsible for countless deaths throughout history. As a vampire hunter, therefore, they were Rose's most important targets. Furthermore, they were apparently among the most powerful of all vampires, with exceptional growth potential. So, I guess if the ancestors are all dead, does that make them the most powerful, or or if the ancestors still lived, would the elder vampires be more powerful than the ancestors? As an example of this, Rose explained that when Luca was first attacked, she had been guided to a deserted area by a high-level ability called Charm, which allowed the user to control the thoughts of their victim to a certain degree. It was finding out that Luca had lost her memories of what happened when she was attacked that had first alerted Rose to the possibility that Elroy might be the other vampire. What? Hold on. Was Luca attacked before? Unfortunately, I don't remember. Okay. Elroy might be an elder vampire, and that was what had first led her to try to distance Alphonse from her investigation. The fact that they might be dealing with an elder vampire was only one of her concerns, however, though the other was closely related to it. The astonishing power elder vampires possess is amplified even further at night, like beasts, beastrels in Unicorn Overworld. Because of that, it should be impossible for them to be able to disguise their presence completely. And yet, in the battle against Elroy earlier, he had been able to do just that, allowing him to make his escape. It had so surprised Rose that she had missed her chance to finish him off. It's possible that he's no ordinary elder vampire, or perhaps he's something even more terrifying, she mused out loud. They had no way of telling what Elroy was truly capable of, or even what he truly was. As such, it was impossible to gauge how much danger they would be putting themselves in by following him, especially knowing that they would be walking right into a trap. While she had no choice but to follow, she found herself questioning whether bringing Alphonse along would really be a good idea. The reservation must have been plain on her face, because Alphonse cut off her thoughts with a determined shake of the head. Rose, I've told you already that I'm not going to die. I won't let you be alone ever again. I don't care how strong my opponent is, I'm not going to go back on my word. Imagine how fucking annoying that would be. You're like, I'm used to working alone, I'm used to being myself, and then there's this kid who's fucking pipsqueak kid who's like, I'll come with you. I'm not going to let you die because I love you. Or something, and you're like, fucking damn it. Like, I don't know.
Right.
At least that's what I think. The resolve was clear and unwavering in his eyes. With or without her blessing, he would see it through to the end. He could not, would not, abandon someone living the life of solitude like he once did. The pure innocence of that emotion and empathy was enough to recall her own bleak loneliness. The dark feeling passed over her features like a cloud obscuring the stars. There was, after all, one other secret she had yet to part with. And that, more than anything, was the cause of her solitude. The warmth of those words almost coaxed it from her lips. So moved was she, but now wasn't the time. For the moment, his heartfelt declaration was enough for her. Their priority needed to be saving his friend. Everything else could wait. I really hope this doesn't turn into a romance. Like, I hope whoever wrote this wasn't like, wow, if you just tell women that you're going to be with them forever, then they love you forever. Isn't that how that works? I really hope this book is not going in that direction. Right, because Rose is used to solitude. She's used to being by herself. I would think that her sense of self and her sense of solitude would not break so easily. Not break, would not, I don't think she would let her defenses down to accept this so easily. Rose doesn't seem like that kind of person. I'm sorry, she said. I thought I had overcome my hesitations, but it seems that wasn't the case. With a mental shake of the head, she pushed her doubts deep within and slowly moved her hands toward her waist. Her fingers sought out her spare blades, an elegant longsword. Clipping it from her belt, she handed it to Alphonse. This should serve as a replacement for that broken saber. I imagine you'll be able to fight more comfortably with this. Alphonse hefted it in his hands, admiring the balance. He slipped it a hand's width out of the scabbard for a closer look. Like Rose's other purified weapons, it had a silvery glow that seemed to suck in the light of the red moon. A blow from a blade like this would surely stop a vampire in its tracks. Rose had always known that the short sword she had given Alphonse was hardly the ideal weapon for him. She had done this deliberately, hoping that having an unsuitable weapon would dissuade him from trying to get actively involved in battle. And yet, not once had he balked at entering the fray. With whatever resources he had at his disposal, Alphonse was almost always ready to jump right in. Giving him the longsword, therefore, was a sign that she now regarded him as someone worthy of trust, and an apology for underestimating him previously. Alphonse acknowledged the gift, and perhaps apology, with a nod of the head, and attached the blade to a sturdy leather baldric. They regarded one another for a moment then, and swore to do what needed to be done. Their mutual resolve reaffirmed, they took off into the deep darkness where Luca and the vampire waited. Next to Heimdall, there flowed a great river known as the Anor. Facing out onto it was Heimdall Port, and in one corner of that port was a door that led down into an underground passage. Hey, we were here, everybody! The entrance was usually locked for safety reasons, but they forced it open without much trouble and stepped inside. The air within was a mixture of mold, rusting metal, and a pervasive smell of damp. Cautiously, they moved along the slick stone path, ears and eyes strained for any movement. The tunnel was connected to the river itself, and the torpid water flowed all the way into the deep darkness, further along the passages. It had been constructed during the Dark Ages, and the network of passages under the city was so vast that no one knew just how far it stretched or exactly what lay within. The entire area had long been abandoned. No maintenance or modernization had ever been done. To Alphonse's eyes, it looked as though they were setting foot in some labyrinth, untouched by time or man for hundreds of years. They proceeded deeper inside, following Elroy's trail along the waterway with only the faintest of light from the red moon trickling through the periodic grates to illuminate their path. The scent coming from him had returned in full force, filling the air with tension as they drew closer and closer to their quarry. Quarry. They proceeded cautiously and more slowly now, as even the light from the moon eventually abandoned them during their descent. The pitch darkness did not last for long, however. As they advanced, they soon started to come across torches here and there, attached at intervals along the walls. The glow from the flickering light was both inviting and sinister. It looks like he really has been using this place as a hideout for quite a while, Alphonse commented. He and others, Rose thought with distaste. It seemed very likely that the people Elroy had abducted were somewhere around too. No sooner had the thought crossed her mind than she sensed movement. She sighed. It looks like as though we are too late. The meaning of Rose's words soon became clear. Slowly but surely, a number of figures drew closer to them from ahead. They shuffled and jerked with an unnatural cadence. Ghouls. While Elroy had abducted Luca without drinking her blood, it seems as though he had used the other people who had been keeping here in her place. Alphonse couldn't help but feel a slight sense of relief when he realized that Luca wasn't among them. But that didn't prove for certain that she was still unharmed. After all Elroy needed to do to get them to chase after him was to have them believe that there was a chance that she was still alive. As the creatures approached, it was clear that they had no time to waste. Alphonse quickly drew the long sword, while Rose already had her Templar sword and pistol in hand and ready for battle. We need to deal with these first. Right. Their course of action decided. They both charged into the horde of advancing ghouls. It was the first time that Alphonse had been forced to engage in actual combat with ghouls, and he found it emotionally draining. After all, the ghouls were nothing more than victims of the vampire. They hadn't chosen to have their lives taken or to be compelled to seek and to devour their fellows. It had all been forced upon them. As such, she was not fighting to kill them, but to free them. Thinking of it logically didn't do much to reduce the pain of taking up arms against another human being, though. What do you mean? You're in the fucking military. Like, that's what you signed up for. His heart ached every time he cut one down. Rose, meanwhile, was mowing down ghouls like a scythe through the summer harvest. They were nothing more than obstacles in her way, and their shambling attacks were no match for her peerless work with the blade. No matter the speed and skill which she dispatched them, though, more ghouls emerged from the darkness to block her path. Watching her, Alphonse couldn't help but wonder how long she had been enduring the same pain that he was feeling now. It didn't show on her face, but he remembered the tenderness with which she had handled the ghoul after defeating it on the first meeting. She was as disgusted as he with their plight. He wanted to know what had driven her to continue subjugating herself to that pain over and over again. What had driven her to the depths of solitude. But most of all, he wanted to find somewhere that he could be of help to her. Right now, however, all that he could do was continue to fight. Shoving down the sorrow he felt with every swing of the sword that met flesh, he kept advancing forward through the massive bodies before him. Using the torches on the wall as their beacons, Alphonse and Rose hurried as best they could through the maze of passages. Tens upon tens of ghouls tried to obstruct their path, but they continued to carve their way forward. They advanced, but slowly, each battle taking a toll on their stamina and energy. Eventually, the path ahead of them opened, and they found themselves in a wide, spacious area. The ground was gray and soft beneath their feet. It was earth, not stone. A number of crosses were lined up in tidy rows in the sweeping space, probably erected during the Dark Ages. Their bindings looked so weathered that they could have crumbled to the ground at any moment. The area was lit only by a few sputtering torches, but it was enough to see that they must be in a catacomb of some sort. The atmosphere in the subterranean tomb was even gloomier than it had been in the passages they had passed through to reach it. At its center stood a single silent man, wearing a black coat over his tattered army uniform. Alphonse had been leaning exhaustedly against Rose after their seemingly endless battle with the ghouls. But when he spied the familiar figure, he let out a mighty yell, "Elroy!" His voice boomed throughout the chamber, but the other man didn't flinch in the slightest. Instead, he calmly turned to face him. The air grew heavy with malevolence. "I've been expecting you," he said. Smiling, he regarded them with amusement. As his lips crept farther and farther up, his needle-sharp fangs were slowly revealed. They were stained a deep, wet red. Well, everyone, that's it. I hope you enjoyed Red Moon Rose Chapter 10. Shit's getting crazy. No, not crazy, but no, it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this, and maybe remembering more of it than I am.
Right.
And so it took like, what, 30-ish minutes to read all that? I think that's pretty good. All right, so now we're actually continuing looking around the fortress like we were asked to do. But I hope you all enjoyed some reading, some nice reading. I enjoyed it. So yeah, it was nice. And so we are now exploring the fortress and seeing what we can see, finding what we can find. Oh, cutscene, everyone. Look at those tanks. Wow, this place must get loud. Right? Like, if all those tanks are starting up, this is an echo chamber right here. Seems like this is the hangar for tanks and armored cars. It's kind of staggering to see so many lined up, lined up in one place. I can talk. God, I'm not looking forward to this. You never seen any military exercises before, Reen, right? Yeah, this will be my first time. I take it you have then? Yeah. My dad showed me one the last time he brought me out here. He really does want me to join the military, but I really don't think I'll ever be suited for it the way he is. I get where you're coming from. The more I hear about his dad, the more curious I get. I'm not entirely sure how to feel seeing so many Aztecs, actions lined up like this. The Ryan Ford Company makes these, don't they? Unfortunately so. Oh, I should have my chat up, huh? Let me get my chat up in case, one of you actually wants to talk with me. I'm sure they'll be using them for this military exercise, though. As far as I can tell, they'll be pitted against older, automated models. That sounds pretty brutal. The older tanks won't stand a chance. Well, that's kind of the point. They want to show off just how easily the Axons can dominate them. Well, you don't get this chance to go eyes on with this stuff every day. I'll take the opportunity to see for myself just how competent they are. That's just like her. Look at all these tanks, everybody. Oh, there's 2 different kinds. Oh, there's the more? Wow. I wonder if these tanks were designed as... Oh, I can actually go in between these things. That's cool. I wonder... one second. There we go. I wonder if these tanks were designed like by somebody who designs tanks, like they know what they're doing, or someone who's like, oh, this looks cool, so let's just do this. God, this must get so loud when all the tanks are going about. Okay, where are we? That's upstairs. Freight platform, everybody. This is the central freight platform. Oh, is this where we came in? Oh, for freight, not tourists like us. We're not tourists. I was reading stuff about these games and how talking to people is kind of a nice side story of this game, because many of the characters have plots. Many of the NPCs have plots over the course of the game, each game, and it's fun to just talk to all the NPCs. One, you also get like special quests. While reading that, I told myself I couldn't do that on stream. And I said, well, why not? Why not, Darren? On streams, I don't want to take the time to experiment with different tactics, experiment with maybe this works, or maybe this works, or maybe this works. Hello, right. Brick Wall Gaming. Yes, this is Trails of Cold Steel 1. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you very much for joining me. And it's like, well, why not? I find that when I'm not on stream, when I can kind of play the games at my pace, I don't mind taking the time to experiment and try different things out. But if on stream, it's like, no, all here watch a game being played, so I should play the game. However, it can be argued that, well, part of playing the game is experimenting and going slower. I don't know. Because, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Going between just getting into the end versus going through the game and talking to people and doing the side quests. Yes, I have heard that most of what I've actually said Trails of Cold Steel 3 spoils Trails to Azure. However, Trails in the Sky is also a game I'm planning to play. So if you want, you can actually put a vote up for Trails in the Sky, and at the end of the credits, whatever game has the most votes, right, I will be playing. So, haha! Oh, God damn it, votes. Yes. So I plan to finish both Trails in the Sky and the Trails to Zero before I get to Cold Steel 3. There we go. Haha. Go me for making things too complicated. But yeah, no, I totally plan to play everything before Trails of Cold Steel 3. Interesting. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Well, so far, Trails of Cold Steel 2 doesn't have any votes, so. But I will keep that in mind. Thank you for the forewarning. I greatly appreciate it. I like kind of that everyone who has shown up has been like, oh my god, you're going to get spoiled if you do this, so don't do it. Like, it's great. No one has been like, I'm going to spoil the game for you or not telling you and everything. Everyone who loves Trails of Cold Steel is like, be wary. And I love that about the community. Oh yeah, I know. Trails of Reverie is the halfway point, and my plan is to play all of them before we get to Trails of Reverie. I'm super excited for this journey into doing everything before Trails into Reverie. I heard about the fortress from my father, but seeing it in person really drives home its incredible scale. Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy if he's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive. Indeed. I feel like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being applied, though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, I know. Like, if you go to play Chosen Cold Steel 3 and 4, you're going to get all the information you need, right? And it's like, I know, right? The game's not going to omit information like, well, if you didn't play Trails in the Sky or the Cross Battle Arc, this game isn't going to make no sense because we're not going to talk about it. Nah. But I'm one of those people where if there's a collection, I'm going to buy them all. Same thing with vast RPG stories. I want to learn it all. I want to play them all. Get all the experience. The soldiers here seem pretty well trained. Pretty well equipped too. Like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You need to put in some serious prep time if you want to topple it. Fee? I'm not sure that's something you should say within earshot of soldiers. Old habits die hard. Ain't that right, Fee? Can I buy things from here? No, you just tell me things. I don't want to be told things. That's no fun. Oh, I can't remodel weapons. Ooh, so I can buy things here. Okay, good to know that this exists. Exchange, yes, all right. Shop. What do you have to buy? No, I can't really buy anything. Hiking shoes give me a bit of defense. From what, 694 to 704? That's pretty good. But yeah, no, everyone in the community for this has been amazing and fun to talk with. And that's great. I've heard so many bad things about other people playing a game, and they're like, then they get spoiled, and that sucks. Laura and Fee. Yeah, Laura and Fee are are amazing. I love Laura and Fee. They're so good. You can like who you like. You can like who you like. You can frickin' use whatever characters you like. I remember I was playing The Legend of Dragoon. Fun game, by the way. Fun, well, I don't know. Ow, fuck. I was playing Legend of Dragoon, and I was using a slow character, but with the heavy hitter character, but that was slow. And some people were like, are you playing this game on hard mode? That character sucks. It's like, I just want to use the characters that I want to use. I don't care about optimizing. I'm on my stream. I'm not going to spend time to optimize and to figure things out and to experiment. I'm just going to play the game how I want to play the game. So yeah, you like who you like, I'll like who I like, and then we'll get a drink together about how awesome this game is. Sound good? Plenty of stuff. Plenty of stuff to buy. Ooh, mines. Okay, well, we've talked to people, so let's save and then continue talking to people. Laura is a Bamf. Fee is a fast Bamf. That's what it is. Yeah, I would have to say that I can't talk. I would have to say I agree with you. I was kind of tired of all the teenage drama at the beginning of this game, but it makes sense that there would be teenage drama. You know, right? You makes people of different ideologies. Tend to be some drama. Oh yeah, Tovo gave me a call about what happened in Legrom. So you had a mechanical monster show up outside the city limits.
Yeah, Tovo looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him too. Do you know anything about them?
Well, I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. They go by the name Ouroboros. Of course, Ouroboros. They are a secret society of sorts that act in the shadows all across the continent.
A secret society?
We don't know how many members there are, what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them all. What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes, and that they've been hiding several crises that have threatened to shake... They've been behind several crises that have threatened to shake the foundations of entire nation-states.
And these are the people who made the monsters? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd find it hard to swallow. But there's no denying what we saw out there.
Well, you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call them mechanical monsters like the ones you guys fought Archisms. And lately, it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. There's been one sighting after another these days all around the Empire and beyond.
Wow, that's heavy.
Haha!
Does that mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean.
Well, that's the tricky thing about them. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know they put Archisms out into the wild, purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind at least.
Right. I'll be sure to let the others know too.
Oh, really? With this manga? The Trails has a manga? I had no idea. There's this game is this. You know what this reminds me of? I was talking to somebody last episode about how this is kind of the first time a video game has done something about like kind of like MCU, just right? They've made so many connected videos. There's like, oh, no video game company has made these many connected games that are supposed to be connected. But what about the Dot Hack series? I haven't played the Dot Hack series, but I have told that they all literally take place in the same universe, and they take place at different times in the same universe. So that's interesting. But it seems like the Dot Hack universe is more spread out via mediums than Trails. Interesting. Manga between arcs. That's always wonderful. Hello, Emma.
Oh, are you taking a rest, Emma?
I did take a short walk around, but everything around the fortress is so imposing. It made me feel a little faint.
I feel you there. Looking at Emma now, it's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through the castle.
I know. She's like, her ass-craft is like, rest in peace. And after that, she's like, oh, I'm sorry I killed you. Emma, you're something else. Reed?
Never mind. But there is one thing that's been bugging me lately, ever since we arrived in Legrom. I feel like, just out of the corner of my eye, I catch glimpses of this small, black shadow following us. but ever since we got to the fortress, I haven't seen it.
Really? Maybe you were possessed by something.
Possessed? It's kind of an unsettling thought.
It is, isn't it? Thought I told her to go back when we reached Celtic.
Oh, right, that is Emma. Yeah, I am so excited to just go through all of this. Play Shadows in the Sky, do the Crossbow Lark. I have all the games. I'm excited. Oh, fucking sexy, fucking excited. I don't know. I'm excited. All right, do we have anything else? We do. We have people up there to go to, and that's not the right direction. We're going to go this way, and we're going to go that way, and we're going to go all the ways upstairs, everybody. And we're going to go that way. You know what's great? You know what's great? Because you can see the map in 3D, you can understand it. If I'm being salty about Moonstone Mountain, by the way. Not Moonstone Mountain. Mount Moon. No. Yes, it's Moon. Moonstone Mountain from Skies of Arcadia. They did their best to use a 2D map on a wide 3D plane. Good job for them, for like the developers for figuring out how to do that. But oh my god. Oh, Moonstone Mountain fucking sucks. So, you're the students who have come to tour the fortress. Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer uniform. I wonder if he's... This is Lieutenant General Walter, commander of Garlia Fortress. He also serves as the division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. Ah, I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor.
Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Hardly built like a soldier, though. I have my doubts that you'd be able to endure a military training regimen with a physique like that. You sure you're training them properly, Major?
My apologies, sir.
Though I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor. They... We found it, everyone! We found it, everyone! The, Bastion heads! The military hates the braces, and the braces hate the military. At least so far, he doesn't seem as mean as the commander of the that you first meet in Trails of the Sky. That guy was a dick. I've heard of the Purple Lightning before, of course, but a bracer is still a bracer. Leaving such an important role in the hands of civilians is ridiculous. The famous Thor's isn't what it used to be. It's not the right voice.
Well, no surprises there. It's like he fills in every box on the It's like he fills in every box on the checklist for stereotypical Imperial Army soldier.
Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to Goralia. Keep in mind, though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. Yeah, well, yeah. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way.
Of course, sir.
Very well, I'll take my leave here as I have business to attend to. Oh, he's wearing a cape type of thing.
Oh, he is certainly strict.
Well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defensive fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tension between the Empire and the Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come at all.
I won't forget it.
Hello, sweetie. I hope you are doing well. I hope your drive went well. Now, I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. You are welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center.
Of course. Good luck with your work, instructor.
I'll see you later, then. Cape. Someday I want to just buy a cloak and walk around with it. I think that would be fun. Just buy a cloak and walk around looking fancy as fuck. But I don't. Okay, where to next? I don't know. That's a center junction. What's in here? I've spoken to, I think I'm missing the Machias and Eustace. Hey, look at that. We're going above. Can you see people? Are they loaded? They are loaded. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. They are loaded. That's awesome. I'm happy. Barracks. It's locked. You won't be able to explore past here. Okay. I hope everyone here is having a fun and fantastic day today. Why did my phone make noise? Because I got an email. It's mostly from Dev Home, probably. Just fine. That's where we came from. So we're gonna go this way. I guess just follow the right. You were in there. That's where Sarah is. The mess hall, where we can get food. Can we get any recipes? Ooh. Restores 3,000 HP. Restores 10 CP and speed goes about 25%. Interesting. Ooh, coffee! Ah, I miss coffee. I miss coffee. Remember when August was here yesterday? Got some coffee. That was the best thing in the world. Fucking love coffee. Especially they have like the strawberry and cream coffee thing. Oh, that's so good. It's probably just, you know, just a latte with certain syrups in it. But I don't give a fuck. They were amazing. Yeah, so that's Machias. So I haven't seen Eustace yet. I haven't seen Eustace and Millium. That's who I need to find is Eustace and Millium. I guess we're just going to follow the right till we find them. Motor pool, everybody. Which is where we were with all of the tanks. With all of the tanky tanks of tanks. Come on. Who are you? You're just engineer. Dats and zats. Yep. This way. Melissa and Elliot. Hello, you two. This way? Oh. I could go outside. I didn't think I could.
Wow.
Oof. Oof. That's not how the Doppler effect works. God fucking damn it.
I can't believe the size of this place.
Oh, given those uniforms, you must be the students from Thor's. Feel free to look around all you like, but try to stay out of our way. We are all incredibly busy at the moment. So if you don't mind, I'd ask you to make your way to the corridor over there, instead of hanging around here. Yes! Magic Doppler effects. Sound waves act differently in this universe. Okay, all the way up. Oh, it's actually walked over here, and the game is like, we're going to force you over here. I understand. Okay. Hello, soldier. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen any... I don't think I've seen any women soldiers. Why not? Any women here? That's what I meant. I'm Gaius.
Guys, are you okay?
I'm just shocked by how different the atmosphere here is from Zendergate.
Well, it is a major military base right on the board of Crossbell. I never imagined it'd be quite this big, though.
This place is such a departure from Zendergate that I can hardly believe that this is all the same military. Although perhaps this is the true face of the Imperial Army. No, I don't want to talk to you! This fortress is the very definition of oversized. and that's ignoring the excessive display of military power. I imagine that the posturing is meant to show the Cruisin Provincial Army that they could crush them on a whim.
I forgot what this place probably means to you and your family.
I suppose. While I don't agree with my father's actions, I can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. In fact, I find it hard to believe that anyone could sleep peacefully near a fortress like this. You have a point there. Oh, guess you can't see it from here after all. We'd be able to see it from here. We'd be able to see it from where the railway guns are, but they'll get mad if I get close to them.
What are you up to now, Milliam?
You know that huge Orcus Tower where they're holding the trade conference? I'm trying to get a good view of that.
Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the Imperial Chronicle and on the radio. Can you actually see it from all that way over there? That'd be incredible.
Would I ever lie to you? I wish I could have gone with Gramps instead of being stuck on some stupid field study.
Why'd you join Class 7 then? Speaking of which, they're going to be holding the keynote session there tomorrow. I wonder what they'll be talking about during it.
Most people's thinking it's just so they can decide on finance rules and stuff for Western Samaria. But I think it's really going to end up being about who Crossbell belongs to. Knowing Gramps, he might even try to get Crossbell to become part of Erebonia.
Seriously?
The prince is going to be there too, so he'll probably just try to shake everyone up a bit.
It's not her voice, I'm sorry. Toe is there too, so here's hoping things go well.
And I believe that's all of Class 7 that I've spoken to. So, where to now? Oh, wait, I can't exit from here? If I want to go back, I have to walk all the way back? Are you serious, game? It's fucking loadings, god damn it. I know, maybe they didn't think of it. Or maybe they're like, we literally can't have another loading zone because we're going to break the game. I don't know. Return to the fortress. Okay, so we are now here. And where does the game want us to go? And here we are. Are you sure it's even here? Did I lie to you?
Would I lie to you?
Am I? Ha ha. This bulletin is to inform all Thor students that preparation for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat.
That's Instructor Neidhart. The time must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way toward the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way.
You know what I hated? At my elementary school, right, we were all able to play outside, go running, have fun, get energy out. There was the cover area where you could like play basketball or wall ball and stuff. And obviously after recess and lunch recess, there was a loud buzz that signified everyone please line up so we can go back to the classroom, that kind of thing, right? I always felt that the buzzer sounded from the covered area because it was always louder. The buzz was always louder in the covered area than it was anywhere else. So loud that I would often try to not be in the covered area when I knew the buzzer was about to ring. We boarded the armored cars and set off toward the training grounds. Your name, sweetie, at least on my chat, is bright green. I quite like it. Everything else is like a subdued color, but this is bright in your face. It's really nice. You know, I think for a military place, there'd be like more like signs of go here. Not signs, but like things on the ground that says this traffic goes this direction. What do you mean, like, at your work of, like, the books you have to process? The inside of the armored cars was narrow and cramped. The smell of machine oil hung in the air. Oh, well, Ian Esselmont is the co-writer of the Malazan books. Ian Esselmont is the author of, like, a lot of the side stories, and Steven Erikson is the author of the main series. So, yeah, Ian Esselmont. The car shook and rattled over the uneven ground, tumbling us around like iron coffins on wheels. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to even peek outside at the scenery, we finally arrived at Garlia Fortress's military training grounds. I didn't know they were still writing that. I didn't know they were still writing that. Yeah. Oh, that's why I spelled it wrong. There we go. Malazan Book of the Fallen, everybody. The complete Malazan Book of the Falling. Oh, it's an ebook cover of the series. Okay. Yeah, so in the series, there's Gardens on the Move all the way to the Crippled God. It's followed by the Carcanus trilogy, Path to Ascendancy, and novels of the Malazan Empire. Okay. And it's a prequel. And then Path to Ascendancy is the prequel series set in the world of Malazan, written by Ian Esselmont. Okay, we're the early adventures of Dancer and Kelevend. And novels of the Malazan Empire. The 6-part series covers events roughly simultaneous with Steven Zerk's Malazan books, which is the Crimson Guard, the succession of the Malazan Empire, events in Corel and Duraku, and the mystery of the Assail. Okay, interesting. Oh, yeah, I had no idea they were still making those. That's really cool. Ah, come on, Windows. There we go, Darren. Okay. Are we ready, everybody? This is going to be exciting. I wonder what they use for fuel. Also, that's not how the brake should sound. They weren't skidding to a stop. Oh, look, chairs, just for them. Wow, Accent's main battle tanks. There's plenty of older model tanks out there, too. It even looks like they have airships here. Oh, yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord. Welcome. Oh, is that Elliot's dad? Oh, it's Elliot's dad, everybody. So, that's Elliot's dad. I don't see the family resemblance. Looks like the hair made the jump from father to son, though. Reporting, Lieutenant General. Very good, Nineheart. Instructor Valestine, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Craig. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us. Sorry? For the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Vandyck. And these must be... What a piercing stare. So, this is Craig the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's good to see you again. It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? That's a sharp-looking uniform you've got to. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. Dad, come on.
You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There's a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and the men of Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe.
I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. There does seem to be some differences from the stories.
You're kidding me. He seems like a cool guy.
What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major.
Words fail me.
Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona.
I'll tell Fiona that you showed emotion.
Fucking serious.
Moving right along.
I enjoyed that the games. Oh, okay. I enjoyed that the game had to freeze a little bit to load in that title.
I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Craig, commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, sir.
It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot.
Believe me, I feel it in my bones.
Now let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. Armored regiments at the formation center, infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem.
Hello, King. I hope you are doing well. Glad to see your name. Hope Pokemon Unite is treating you well. I know it wasn't treating me the best.
Using their maneuverability to their fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today, we'll be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition.
So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks?
It would hardly be a live fire exercise if we did it. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule.
That voice is actually kind of hurting my throat a little bit. Not as bad as Toad from Super Mario RPG. That was a fun one to do, though. I did appreciate that.
We will now begin today's joint military exercise. Armored Division 4 and 5, commence battle operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin.
Oh, that tore my throat. Okay. This is music I was not expecting to hear. Interesting. 5th Armored Division, Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division, Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. I really don't think they would be using that many words. Wouldn't there be like call signs or something? You know, I was about to say that's how tanks work, but at the same time, I don't know how tank battle works. Because they're just like, we're just going to be in a wall, and that's it. But where's the infantry and everything like that? I don't know. I have no idea how tanks are supposed to fight each other like that. Are they just supposed to stay in a line? Are they not? I have absolutely no idea. Wow! It's certainly potent. So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those You said those tanks are called Axthens? He might know, actually. I don't know. I know how... I guess... Yeah, I think you probably still know. Yeah, they're the type of main battle tank the Reinford Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheet, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points won't. They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kind of crazy. You try fighting things like these head on, you won't stand a chance. That is true for our own nation, as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking.
I don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, if the sound of guns and warfare ever stopped bothering you, I'd be worried.
Green?
Oh no! I guess this is another kind of strength.
Ooh, what's happening? I like how I'm like, we need to get to the prologue, damn it. But I'm like, the game keeps getting in my way and doing fucking story. No! Get to the prologue! Thus, the military exercise came to an end. The 4th Armored Division, led by Lieutenant Jonathan Craig, withdrew to an encampment near the fortress. Meanwhile, we returned to the fortress where Major Neinhardt outlined the results of the training exercise. After that... It's nighttime, everybody. You know, I really wish, like, I understand this song is supposed to be nighttime and quiet, but when the music of when the background music changes volume, it's a bitch to edit. It is hard. Not hard, inconvenient. Sorry you had to wait for us to finish.
Don't worry about it. We're the guests here after all.
Thanks for your consideration. At the very least, I'd say dinner's a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hashed beef day. That's the Imperial Army tradition, isn't it? Ooh, just the smell's making me hungry. Oh yeah. Where'd your instructor go? She went to see the fortress commander with Instructor Neinhardt. She did ask us to eat without her tonight. Ah, well, if she's with Major Neinhardt, it's hard to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. It'd be enough if they just had Craig the Red, but they've got Major too. That's kind of scary. Like a division of muscle men. Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied up any longer. Your hash beef's gonna go cold. See you tomorrow, guys. Okay, like, come on, y'all can get fucking closer. Wow, it's actually delicious. It looks like night and day compared to what we had for lunch. You're telling me. Oh, come on, guys. What's with all the gloomy faces? You think y'all might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little how we feel. It's like, has everything we've been learning in our academy been for nothing? Academics, the arts, individual skills in combat. None of those matter in the slightest in real warfare, do they? It's true. If you're all looking to do is fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well, and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose. The Axthens are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be. I remember my mother boasting about their capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all.
Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in that military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no mortality of its own. exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideas or principles of those who wield it.
That's true. In a sense, the same could be said of a sword or a gun. And all the way up to something as huge as Garlia's railway guns too.
I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. They could have just taught us in a less roundabout fashion.
Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party.
I got her voice really good last episode, and I can't replicate that right now. I'm annoyed. Instructor Sarah.
So you spoke with the commander? Sure did. I got up-to-date info on the trade conference too, as well as the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you're scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns.
I see. Looking forward to that. Sounds like we've got a pretty packed schedule.
Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Garlia's fortress just happens to have that power in a very striking, easy-to-understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of that power. The Empire of Erebonia wields at present, a power you might one day be in charge of yourselves. What? Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me away from trying the famous hash beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day.
We should probably finish eating.
Yeah, it's gone a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go and ask for a sec. Ooh, Eustace, if you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it?
I'd sooner throw it away than give it to you.
Yeah.
Fucking cramped. Oh, God. All my muscles, right? Just, my leg muscles.
Considering. Click, click. Okay, that should do it. All right, that covers today's quota. Oh, I'm looking forward to a nice long bath. Oh, you know how every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, at least managing inventory has gone a lot easier, thanks to the OrableNet. They've got everything hooked up on the network over in Crossbow, right? Wish the Empire could get a bit more. Think of the utility. Well, from the sound of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. Considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here. Huh? An orb mail. Everything is fucking ore. I guess that makes sense, right? Email, electronic mail, cellular phone, right? It makes sense that they would use the prefix of what it's on, but it just looks so funny. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the OrableNet. There's no such thing as off hours when they can just send you orders round the clock. Huh, what's going on? So get this, they're planning on doing some extra exercises tomorrow. That means we gotta outfit 20 Axtons with C units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? Might as well start up another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. Do you even have that many C units left? Actually, no, the lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20, if you can believe it. Guess we'll just have to get it done. Damn it! At least let us take a shower. I'm gonna down in the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything? I know that feeling. Luckily, I'm not in the military, so I can say no. Diddly diddly do. Ba ba da bum 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da ba 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 dum. Do 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 do. I like how they just started the internet. It's like, oh, this is the problem with the internet. There's no off hours when anyone can reach you at any time of the day. But we're family here. Fuck you. Oh my god. Right, that's where the railway guns are. Imagine how long it took to carve out a fucking mountain. At last, after what seemed like enough adventure to fill a week, we reached the final day of our field study. Over in Crossbell State, they were busy preparing for today's keynote session at the trade conference. We spent the morning running through the Imperial Army's physical fitness program, alongside some of the soldiers. You know what this is reminding me of? The second disc of Xenogears. Right? Because the second disc of Xenogears was what? Just so much talking, right? Just cutscenes and talking. I think you get to the final dungeon and that was it. I think that was the only dungeon was the final dungeon. Kind of like this. It's like, well, we're near the end, so we're just going to do talking and story, talking and cutscenes. Talk. Cutscenes. Can't do that with cutscenes. And after completing it, no easy task, I might add, we sat down to a lukewarm redo of yesterday's lunch. That afternoon, during our special military science lecture, we were presented with a confidential report on the terrorists. The Imperial Liberation Front is in Crossbell. That's right, or at least that's what the Intelligence Division believes. It looks like a known terrorist organization from the Calvard Republic has turned up in Crossbell too. The situation over there is pretty touch and go right now. Oh no.
What are the authorities doing?
Everything they can, naturally. However, operations are being handled solely by the Intelligence Division. They refuse to tell the Imperial Army anything. Just that they have a trusted ally taking care of things. But who does the Intelligence Division trust? You gotta know something about this, right, Short Stack? Well, I do, but I can't really tell you anything. I guess it's not a breach of confidentiality to tell you that they're a really strong bunch, though. That's still pretty vague. I've got a few ideas. Anyway, there's not much point in us worrying about that right now. The bigger issue is that of our terrorists of the hour. The Imperial Liberation Front are a bigger crew than we thought. Big enough to be in possession of a state-of-the-art military airship at least.
Seriously?
An airship. Can we assume Reinford's the manufacturer then? Correct. Just how something that large found its way into the hands of insurgents is currently unknown. But it seems to be a high-speed model, different from the heavily armored types favored by the Imperial Army. I bet it's from the RF-26 series. There are a number of different models within that series, though. But if they have an airship, that means they're going to be a whole lot more difficult to catch, doesn't it? That's exactly what it means. It's basically impossible to keep tabs on them as it is. With an airship in their possession, there's no telling where or when they'll pop up next. That's quite worrying, especially considering Prince Oliver is attending the conference. And Toe is in Crossbell right now, too.
Yeah.
Damn. Now you've got me worrying, too. Take it easy. I don't think you have anything to worry about with Gramps and Lecter over there, too. Well, that aside, if the terrorist attention is currently focused on Crossbell, does that mean the Empire is effectively safe right now? You raise a good point, Laura. They did target Princess Alphen during the summer festival last month. It's possible it's just a feint. Maybe they just want us to believe they're targeting the Chancellor. The Railway Military Police thought so too, which is why they increased the security level here at home. The Emperor and everyone else connected to the Imperial family should be safe. They've also beefed up security anywhere that seems short-handed. As well prepared as ever, I see. At any rate, you finally uncovered some information on the terrorists' identities, correct? That's right. Though once again, we have the Intelligence Division to thank for that. If you turn your attention to the screen, please. That's a screen?
I know that face. Gee.
That's the man who kidnapped Princess Alphen and Elise in Heimdall. Not to mention trying to start a war with Calvert in the Nord Highlands. Look at the light. Is this place just like dusty as fuck? And why is it circles? Like, why? I really wonder what the circle looks like scaled down so I can see it all, but like, why? So, who is he? His full name is Michael Gideon. That name is familiar from Jails in the Sky 1, I think. He used to be an assistant professor at the Imperial Academy in Heimdall. That man. A teacher? So, an academic. Right. His focus was on political philosophy. 3 years ago, he was dismissed from his position due to his intense criticism of Chancellor Osborne's hardline policies. Oh. So getting laid off set him on the road to terrorism. Well, it sounds like the actual reason he was let go was because he was handing out tracts and flyers in public. You'll find these kinds of idealists at the heart of most terrorist groups, though. In seeding a group with their core ideology, they twist it to even more militant and radical. You can't even reason with them either. Yeah, they just don't know when to give up. Sounds like some other groups I know.
So, do we know anything of the others? We crossed paths with what I can only assume were 3 other key members last month in Heimdall.
Yes. S, V, and C. It seems like they haven't been able to dig up much on those 3 yet. Their strongest lead right now is that V may have belonged to Jaeger Corps.
Interesting.
He was toting around this machine gun that looked like it should have been mounted to a vehicle. Does he seem familiar to you, Fee? Not really. They're working on narrowing down the identity of S2, but it's too early to make any informed statements. The real unknown is their leader, C.
Ah, the one in the visored helmet. I heard he was able to go toe-to-toe with Reen, Laura, and Fee simultaneously.
I almost find it hard to believe.
I don't.
I imagine there are plenty of people in the Empire who could do so.
It goes without saying that the Radiant Blade Master could fend 3 of us off without much of a problem. But I bet good Mira Instructor Sarah and Major Neidhart could do it too.
I can't say for certain. Ha! Look at Mr. Modesty over there. The Major here is widely held to be one of the strongest up-and-coming officers in the entire army. I've heard people mention him right alongside Major Vander.
Laying it on a little thick today, aren't we?
Going by the family name, it seems safe to assume he's a practitioner of the Vander style of swordsmanship. No doubt a relative of Lieutenant General Zex from Xandergate.
Well, while I would question whether I can stand on equal footing with him, Major Vander is unquestionably strong. He was my classmate during my military academy years, and quite close to Prince Olivert as well. In fact, he's in Crossbell right now, serving as the prince's bodyguard. Whoa.
Well, that's reassuring to know. But getting back to the point, it's not just C. We still know very little about their group as a whole. Even their source of funding is a mystery. So even if they're a no-show in Crossbell, I doubt we've heard the last of them. And call it coincidence or fate, but you've put the kibosh on their schemes twice now. It's entirely possible they've come to hold a personal grudge against you, so be careful. Right.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep that in mind.
It's a lot of reading. This is not the first episode with so much reading, though, and not the last. Eventually, the afternoon series of special lectures came to an end, and it was finally time to get a peek at Garelia's Fortress's infamous railway guns. Water, everyone. It's amazing. You'll now be shown to the area where the railway guns are housed. All of what you're about to see is highly classified. I presume you're aware of the protocols surrounding confident intel.
Yes, instructor.
I'm getting kind of nervous. Me too. Guys, it's just the railway guns. I've seen before. There's nothing to get all excited over.
Orion, this part of the field study isn't mandatory for you.
If you'd like to stay here and wait for us, there'd be more than okay. I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the only one left behind.
But you called her Orion. What does that mean?
Honestly.
Excuse me a moment. This is Nineheart speaking. Yes. Hello, Commander Walter. Wait. Mueller wants to speak to me? Of course, put him through. What could you possibly be calling out about a time like this? What? What's happening?
Huh. Is he taking the call from someone outside the fortress on his Arcus? Sure looks that way. Oh, the music went quiet, everyone. Are you all ready for this?
Understood. We'll be on alert here as well. Yes. Right. Take care out there.
Did something happen in Crossbell?
I'm afraid so. A short while ago, the skyscraper where the conference is taking place came under attack by the Imperial Liberation Front. The attack was carried out via airship. Fortunately, they were able to repel the terrorists, and Prince Oliver, Chancellor Osborne, and the others are unharmed. However, it's too early to tell if the danger has truly passed.
They really did attack the conference. How foolish. But that's not all, is it? Something else strange happened. What was it?
The terrorists were somehow able to gain access to the orbital net.
I guess if this is the beginning of the orbital net, the idea of security wasn't really thought of. Really. I remember I was hearing about Microsoft, old Microsoft technology on the internet. And this was when Microsoft was going like, oh, we should probably make it so our tools are safe for people to use. But it wasn't implemented the best. And this is common knowledge, by the way. I'm not giving like anyone confidential information or anything. And so if you use the Microsoft tool or on, I think if you're using IE, it would ask the website, are you safe? And if the website said no, it would be like, we're going to block this website. But if the website responded, yes, I'm safe, then IE would go, okay, you're safe. I'll just let you through then.
The terrorists were somehow able to gain access to the orbital net and manipulate the shutters that partition the building. Furthermore, they had with them a force of mechanical monsters.
I don't like the sound of that.
You found something like that in Legram, right? Yeah, we ran into one on the highway here.
And they broke into the orbital net. Major, how much of Garalia Fortress is connected to the network?
At present,
Oh, you know what? I bet the email they got was a phishing email. I bet the email we saw was a phishing email. And the reason why they wanted C units is because they can use those. They can like remote control them or something. Ooh. They should have taken some security training. Sucks to be them. At present, it's only used for inventory and equip management by the maintenance staff. There's nothing they could do. I was right. I was right. That's kind of the big thing with social engineering, right? Since there's so much security and there's so many steps, it's not just you break one thing and you got entrance. You could break one thing to get some credentials, to go somewhere else to get some credentials, or to tell someone else what to do, right? Because remember, if an email is sent by somebody that you know and you trust it, you know, even if you read, you're like, oh, I trust this, I'm going to do its thing, you're going to do it. Which means that the Imperial Liberation Front used social engineering to get C units on the tanks. What was that? A tremor? It came from right below us. Below the hangar. Well, everybody. What the hell? The accidents. What happened here? They just started moving. No one's inside. They just started moving on their own. Did the C unit start malfunctioning? No, they couldn't have. What's a C unit? It's an automatic control unit we put on vehicles that are going to serve as targets in military exercise. How did C units end up attached to our most advanced tanks? This is really bad. Ugh. I'm going to assess the situation. I need you here to help fight the fires and assist the injured maintenance staff. Yes, sir. Please be careful out there. Well, looks like we're approaching the climax of this game, everybody. Yeah, because shooting that tank's gonna work. Who's controlling all these tanks, by the way? This is crazy. Hold on a minute. Are automatic control systems really capable of that level of advanced maneuvering? No, they're definitely not. Our current technology isn't capable of anything really this advanced. But if you were to apply the tech used in the Arcanisms, it suddenly becomes a whole lot more possible. That was instructor, sorry. I was the instructor. Sorry.
Instructor, are you saying that the society might be involved in this?
I'd say it's looking more likely by the minute.
What are they?
It's the training ground we visited yesterday out the way.
Just what are they planning?
What an idea is his name? What an idea is his name is going on here? Why are unmanned tanks roving around blasting the hell out of this base on their own? Well, it seems that last night headquarters sent an order to the engineers to fit those tanks with C units. Preposterous. I gave no such order. Never mind that. Right now, we need to focus on extinguishing the fire and quelling the confusion, and send a request for assistance to the 4th Armored Division.
What should we do?
I can't see us being able to catch up with them without a horse at the very least. But what's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish here? Whatever it is, they definitely have some kind of game plan. You can't just stand around and decide to do nothing. Leave this, Dosh! Isn't that... Dad? Oh, hey. Haha, look at him! Standing on a tank. That, he's gonna... Oh, my God. Tanks are not that, like, soft. The ride of a tank is not that smooth that you can stand on. but this totally reminded me of the captain on Imp Guards. Bring me closer so I can hit them with my sword. HQ's appraised me of the situation. Leave those rogue tanks to us. We can't rule out the possibility that they're a diversion. I want you all to stay here. Understood, sir. Thank you, General. Be careful, Dad. You too, Elliot. 4th Armored Division advance. Take out those out-of-control tanks by any means necessary. Our opponents are unmanned. There's no need to hold back. Okay.
Wow, your dad's really something else, Elliot.
I admit, he is pretty cool when he takes charge like that. Well, it seems we no longer need to worry about those tanks, at least. But what are they after? That's the question of the hour, isn't it? We can't let our guard down just yet. Might I suggest we fall back to the fortress, Major? A prudent move. After we assess the level of damage inside. Hey, aren't those... What the... Airships. The Imperial Liberation Front. Whoa, there's 2 of them! Damn it, they head under the forest line and wait. The hangar! Oh, I guess reinforcements can't get out anymore. Oh, everyone, it's this music! It's this music, everyone. We are nearing the time of salvation. Do they seriously think they can breach an impregnable fortress? They're just terrorists. Wipe them out.
Right back at you.
Oh, they actually kill people on screen. I was not. Where did they show up? Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, where did they show up from? They were just like, there was nothing on the airship. What the hell? Either way, they kill people.
All right. Let's get this party started then.
They kill people on screen. I am okay with this. Sorry, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, for the whole entire game, people have not been killed on screen. But now we finally see that they killed someone on screen. I wonder where the direction of the series
We're
is
headed
going.
straight for the left railway gun. If anyone gets in our way, fill them full of holes.
Oh, yeah. Jaeger Corps. What's with the Imperial Liberation Front doing here? I thought they were in Crossbell.
Well, that is the main attraction.
I'm gonna have fun balancing this music.
They sure didn't put up much of a fight, did they? Our mission is to support Comrade G over in Crossbell. Our target is the right railway gun. Let's show him some beautiful fireworks, shall we?
Yes, ma'am. For some reason, Elliot's dad's voice just screwed my throat over. Oh. They're going for both the left and right wings. They're going for both the left and right wings. Shit. It's the railway guns they're after? No. Are they going to fire them at the trade conference where the Chancellor is? If a shot from one of those railway guns hits that building, it could blow the smithereens. Damn it. So that's what they were after. This situation has escalated far beyond the scope of your field study. I want you all to stand by. No way. We can't just stand idle while these insurgents run amok. If you won't take us with you, then we'll take action ourselves. Look, time's one's luxury we don't have. I think it's best to let them help us. Listen up. We're going back into the fortress. Groups A and B, you're with me. Let's do this. I'm excited. Unfortunately, it's also 9:23. Which means we have to quit soon. That sucks. Eastern edge of the Erebonian Empire. Guerrilla Fortress, military training ground. Oh, hey! Hey! We know this, don't we, everybody? We finally made it, I think. We finally made it, everybody. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I hope everyone here has had a wonderful time watching me get to this point. Not watching me,
I can't even scratch him.
just being on this journey.
What's happening? Who's in control of those things? Get in touch with the 4th Armored Division. We need backup from Lieutenant General Craig.
Why is he standing? Like, it's so fun to watch, and it's hilarious to see that a human being like, drive me closer. Also, I hope to God you have some ear protection, because there's no fucking way you will be able to hear after standing that close to one of those tanks firing. So does that mean that they have to make 2 separate versions of this intro cutscene? One with Crow and Millium and one without Crow and Millium? Or did they make the same cutscene, but they just put Crow and Millium in a place where they could just make them disappear for the first cutscene? I think I was right. I think that since they're in the back, I think that what they did was they just made the same cutscene, but when you saw it at first, they're like, Crow and Millium are invisible.
This is awful. What happened here?
Oh, terrible.
I can smell smoke. Are they using gunpowder?
They've completely blindsided us. It appears that everything else they've done today was to serve as a decoy, even making the tanks go haywire.
Right. It looks like the real target was the railway guns all along. Which means they must be serious about targeting that trade conference in Crossbell City.
Wow. Even I can barely hear these voices right now.
They wouldn't. How low can they possibly sink?
So, they're intent on taking the Chancellor's head after all.
Resorting to such wanton violence? This is outrageous.
I think next time I'm gonna make sure that when I play this, I'll turn the voices up more, so I don't have to balance it so much.
Huh, this does look kind of bad.
Understatement of the year.
Please, let us help. We don't know if reinforcements are on the way, and it doesn't look like we have much time left. We have to stop them before they can activate the railway guns.
Green's right.
I don't know how much we can really do, but considering the alternative, we have to try.
Right. I'm not about to let those terrorists have their way.
Looks like any attempt to convince you otherwise would fall on deaf ears. All right. Green, you and the rest of Group A with me. Group B, you'll be under the command of Major Neidhart.
One group will secure the gun in the right wing. The other group will secure the left. This is an actual combat situation, with real lives at stake. I expect the best from each of you.
Yes, sir. All right, Class 7. Our objective is to stop the activation of the railway guns. We've learned a lot at the Academy. It's time to put that knowledge to the test.
Understood.
Instructor Sarah has joined. No, I am not. Am I? I don't think I have any meetings, because usually I have a meeting at 10. Hold on, I'm going to check. I'll be right back. I am not going to go along today. Sarah isn't part of the party. While she's assigned to the active battle party, the number of support members is increased to 3. You can now use the Burst Link attack. An attack on all enemies performed by 2 linked pairs, which consumes the bravery points you gain from repeated assist attacks. Press square when link attack appears. Okay. But I am not going to go along today, everyone, so this is the end.
Leave it to me.
Everybody. And so it is the end. She's level 55. What are you equipped with, Sarah? Diablo and Pain. Okay. So that is it today, everybody. So what did we get done today? We read Red Moon Rose, chapter 10, where it seems like the vampires winning. We also learned about the elder vampires and the ancients, and how there's no more true vampires, which totally reminds me of Underworld, by the way. It's like there's no true vampires anymore, so thus there's fake vampires, but we need to kill them anyway. I don't know. That was an interesting movie series. What else did we get done? We watched the military training exercise. We saw how the Imperial Liberation Front used social engineering to get C units installed into highly advanced tanks. We also saw the impeccable balance General Craig has when he's riding a tank, standing up with both feet together. I don't know how he does it. I also don't know how he didn't break his ankles or something, but fucking whatever, sure. I don't know. Anyway, we are now literally where the game first started 54 hours ago. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And if you really want to see what happens after the railway guns fire, make sure to keep watching, everybody, because I'm excited. You're excited. Additionally, we are now nearing the end of Trails of Cold Steel 1, so make sure to put your votes in for what game I'm going to play next. Either Trails of Cold Steel 2, Trails in the Sky, First Chapter, or Trails to Zero. And with that, is there anybody that I can raid? Let me find out. Also, fuck, I forgot to announce myself, didn't I? Also, everybody, if you like what you see, go ahead and give me a follow if you're on Twitch, or sub if you're on YouTube. If you really like what you see, go ahead and tell your friends and family about me and how fucking awesome I am. If you really, really like what you see, consider going to Patreon, patreon.com/ActiveFireball. You get cool shit like a sticker, credits, Discord shit, stuff, and even playtime with me. Like, literally, we will schedule time to play together. It's pretty awesome. One last thing, when you're watching Active Fireball at twitch.tv/ActiveFire and on YouTube, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning PST. I can talk. So yeah, make sure to catch me. If not, the VODs do go on YouTube, so you can watch those. They're also time-stamped. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. With that, everybody, lurkers who are lurking, thank you so very much for lurking. Watchers who are watching, thank you so very much for watching. Bots who are botting, thank you so very much for botting. Love you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.